To Facebook, and welcome to live streaming advice with. I was going to take those off screen and those off screen and bring in David. Hello.
Hey. Ooh, got too much light. Hold on.
Okay. No worries. We're just settling in. If you're watching us live on Facebook, then we can see your comments as you make them. So all you need to do is enter a comment on Facebook and we'll see it. Good afternoon.
Good morning.
Good day. Good day. We'll go with the Australian. We'll go with good day.
There you go.
It matches everything.
Seems to be off center now.
All right. Okay.
That's a little better. How you doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good. Managed to get out and about at the weekend, out to Stonehenge, and there weren't many people there. It wasn't a cold day, but it was a sunny day, and we managed to walk around the henge. And Angelica was able to take photographs, and it was a good day all around. And yourself? So
good. Let's there we go.
Okay.
That extra volume coming through a Bluetooth speaker.
Oh right. Okay. Right. Are you sound now, as they say?
How do I sound now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I'm just checking our Facebook page.
Facebook looks good. I got that up.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just about to close that down. And well, it's been a quiet week, hasn't it, development-wise? In terms of.
It has. It's been. I guess they pushed everything out in 1 week, and then they're letting everybody digest what they pushed out.
Yeah, it's all gone quiet. Nothing new on the Facebook front. How about the Smiletime app? Any updates there?
They did push an update last week, I think, on the beta. Gave some improvement to it and had a couple bugs pop up that were reported, but nothing major they couldn't undo. They changed the privacy notification. So now it's public. Or it actually goes by, I think, whatever you have set for default on Facebook. And they gave you the ability to be able to broadcast to groups.
Oh, brilliant.
Or no, pages.
Pages, yeah.
Broadcast to pages, not groups yet. I don't know what the hold up is with the groups.
I don't know either, because I mean, you've got BeLive going there and Facebook going there, so obviously the API is capable of doing it. But
it may be because of their groups is a little bit more business oriented.
It is,
and that's and so marketing and everything, and maybe that's just not their thing. But
it could be because they predominantly are concentrating on shows, aren't they?
Right.
Yeah. And that's a good thing. I mean, that last night was interesting. I did a show with Peter Stewart, who we both know, and we had some fun because he lost his internet during the day and then got it back again. But I decided to produce the show, and his signal kept stopping. Right. Okay. Now, just to prove the power, we can bring up a comment from Emily. And right. Okay. Emily's question is her first time on Smiletime. Welcome. Is there a way to search by genre or to search anything?
Not yet.
Right. Yeah, I think not yet. Is you've got the ability to see all the channels. If you know the name of the channel, A to Z, you can scroll through and find it. So you'll find LBS 17 amongst those channels. There is no search facility as yet, though, not in terms of typing a term and getting an answer back.
They are so Emily, just to let you know that there's a large community update that's going to happen over time.
Okay.
And it's going to change the way that it looks. They're going to be adding features they're going to be adding searchability, kind of redesign the main dashboard, front page, and everything. Their main focus at this moment is the mobile app, which is currently in a beta phase. You can download, there's an app that's been there that you can download, iOS only. And then they are testing aggressively with some beta testers the mobile app, which is a much improved experience over what's currently available in the App Store. Once that's done, then they can shift their focus to getting the remaining community updates for the desktop version out. That's probably the best way to say everything.
Yeah, and they go to their own roadmap. We can influence it by making suggestions, but they do things according to the map. And that's a thing that we've got to respect, because it means that they're going to test things properly. And as David says, they're extensively testing the iOS app. What can you do if you want to try the iOS app?
You can send off to creators at smiletime.com.
Okay.
And they are adding additional beta testers every week, I think.
Yeah.
Just send an email off to them at that email address and say, hey, I'd like to test the beta app as well. My recommendation would be, though, if you've never done anything with Smiletime before you send off for that, I would recommend that you get into beta to Smiletime, create yourself a channel, play around, get the feel for how things are now. And then, from that point, also get into the app as well, because there is a bit of a different feel when broadcasting between the two that you have to get used to. They're making the mobile app very touch intuitive, swiping and everything. And a lot of the feature functionality that they're showing in the mobile app will be rolled over to the desktop side as well. So that would be my suggestion. Now, Emily is in Live Talk Nation. I actually gave her a nudge. She posted a question. She is a musician and a music teacher, and she's messed around a little bit with live video. But her question mainly was, she says, I'm a musician, primarily a music teacher. I've been playing around casually with live video for a couple years now, but I want to do something regular and valuable. Can anyone offer any thoughts, ideas, or collaborations on what a great, valuable, actionable music show might look like? So Emily, and I invited Emily to come ask that question, and we would talk about it a little bit there. So Stephen, with that being said, any thoughts?
Yeah, two things come to mind. One, Emily, if you would like to join us on air, you're more than welcome to do so. And one of the things that we do is invite people to come on air and ask their questions. If you say yes, I will invite you on air. You'll have 30 seconds then to join us, and you can ask your question live on air and on Facebook. The second thing is that we both know Jojo Keys, and Jojo Keys is a music teacher and also an artiste, and he's been running a show for the last 58 weeks, which is music orientated, in which he features unsigned bands. And if you do a search for Jojo Keys on Facebook, you'll find his shows. They are professionally produced by Enlightened Sound. That's the right one, isn't it? And that might give you a few ideas. So check out Jojo, that's one word, and Keys. Right, okay. Right, well, any time. We don't actually drag people on air. We bring people on when they're ready to come on, and there is no rush on that. You're welcome to come back. David and I are normally broadcasting at 11 a.m. Eastern every Monday. This week is an exception, and you can join us on the show. You can join us on Facebook, or as you've done today, you can come in and join us in the room. And we won't invite you on air. If you just said, me please, then we'll bring you over. Yeah, it is. Smiletime is a, I mean, they do a show 3 times a week, don't they, where they actually offer support to broadcasters directly.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. Monday, it's supposed to be every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you click the Learn More button up at the top right-hand corner, it should take you to their Medium blog site. And one of the posts in there is office hours. Monday is pretty regular with them being on time. Wednesdays have been kind of off and on. And then Fridays have been pretty regular. So my suggestions to you, Emily, would be this. Live video is simply an extension, a tool, another way for you to serve the community that you serve. So if you've already got a base created, you know, one of the things that you can do is you can ask, you know, what would they be interested if you were to go, you know, pose the question, if you were to go live, what would they be interested in seeing, or what would they be interested in learning or knowing? Keep the 3 E's, empower, entertain, and educate as the focus of what you do. And then from there, you can ask, which is always great, do polls. And then the other thing that you can do is just kind of play around with it. If you're a music teacher, what instruments do you teach, or what instruments do you have maybe more students for? People are always interested in learning about music and being able to have access, you know, maybe a little special type of access to somebody who is a teacher. So if you teach piano, maybe start doing music lessons and put out some basic stuff, you know, that would help people get started, learning the different, and I know almost nothing about music except that I listen to it. I know I can listen to music and I know what I like, but that's about it. I don't play an instrument. I played trumpet a long time ago. I always wanted to learn how to play the bagpipes. Okay.
Yeah. Not, I don't want to be in the room when you do, but
it's just something about you know, sounding like you're strangling a goose that makes it interesting. So
yeah.
Anyway, that would be you know, and then, you know, time and day and all that type of stuff. Just kind of play around with it. It's not something that is really, there's no cookie cutter template saying this is exactly what you need to do, because that may not work for you. So I guess more the cookie cutter template would be the steps that I'm providing to you as they are. If you're going to do something a little bit more consistent, trying to draw a more consistent audience, you know, that's a thing to keep in mind. If you're going to do, you know, the ABCs of the black and white keys or something like that, you know, I don't know, you know, every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central, whatever.
I mean, the thing is experiment. I mean, you can, to get practice, you can just go to Facebook, set up a Facebook private group with only you as the member, and start broadcasting and test things out there. So that's just yourself on video, and you can decide what works and what doesn't. When you've decided what works, invite a few friends into the group and try it with them. So you can do just you on camera and a live session where they're asking you questions and answers. You give live on air. And then the next step would be, once you're comfortable with that and you've got a few topics to go with, as Dave said, then come on to Smiletime. Now we have a question which arises every so often, and the question is from Ryan, and over to you, David. Is this a re-emergence of blab?
No.
That's your answer. That's it. That's it. This is not a re-emergence of blab. No way, shape,
it is. If you were looking for something where you could have multiple people on camera and a chat room, it's its own platform, and and you know, maybe a little bit of fanfare, then yeah, I guess you could consider this a reemergence of Blab. But you know, Blab was its own thing. Blab technically was built on top of a platform called TalkBox, which even FireTalk and a few other platforms have used. There's no screen sharing. There never will be. So no. And then yes. Kind of.
Well, it is kind of. You can get, if you wanted a private chat, then you just go and go live on there and you can have 4 people on screen. If you want a public chat, then you can go out to Facebook and you go to a Facebook page or a Facebook profile. But we've moved on a lot since the days of Blab. And it is, as you just quite rightly said, I'll try and get this in the right place. Just a minute. This is live video. Right, it is more interactive than Facebook Live and Periscope. The thing is, the major difference is, Ryan, that I can feature, as host of this, ostensibly, I can feature your comments live on the screen and they will appear in the recording. So if you are watching this on Facebook or within Smiletime, it's an opportunity to promote yourself and your expertise. We offer free advertising at the moment, though we're looking forward to doing banner ads at some stage, aren't we, Dave?
Yes, absolutely. If you'd like to advertise your business, dial 555-1212, 555-1212.
Right,
but wait, there's more.
Right.
Ryan's asking, how about using OBS? No, there's no RTMP stream for you to be able to stream into Smiletime. So no. And as to your question, is it more interactive than Facebook Live or Periscope? I would need more of the question to be able to provide you a little bit better response. I mean, there's no hearts. You can view these, like right now we are streaming to Facebook Live. People can comment on the post of the video, of the live video that's going on in the Facebook Live or in Facebook, and we can actually, as well as you, see the comments pulled in, and we know that they're a comment from Facebook rather than a comment from somebody that's in the actual Smilecast.
No, this is not really lower end of anything, is it? I mean, this is.
You know, everything's got its own stuff. That's really the thing, is a lot of people get hung up on too much. So I guess the question really is, will this work for me? Yeah. And the only way to answer that question is for you to try it. And I recommend that you try everything that's out there and that's available to you. And what you will discover probably is that some things work for what you're doing now, and some things work, and something else might work for something different that you're doing. So it's not really that it's I would consider this a higher end than Huzza, actually. Yeah. And Zoom is a video conferencing platform. It's not, it's like, I think that's what most people use it for, because you can get lots of people on camera and you can screen share and do stuff like that. And it's a very closed ecosystem type deal. So, a lot of people compare this to Be Live. The only way that this really compares to Be Live is that this and Be Live both stream to Facebook, but Be Live is a tool of Facebook. This is an actual platform independent of Facebook. So we can go live without streaming to Facebook if we want here. But yeah, you're on the right track. You know, not all platforms are created equal. Some things do things that you like. Some things don't have things that you want. And again, it just kind of depends on what you're doing. One of the big hangups that always seems to be is screen sharing. And so, with screen sharing, you really need to ask, well, what's the intended goal? Which is what you're going with, test your goals. It's up to you as to what it is. So Emily asked a question earlier, Stephen. I didn't want to say I ignored it.
Okay.
She says, would you like to know why you like what you like? I would always like to know why I like what I like. I don't know if this is the actual show for a response to that, but I like a wide variety of music except for country. In fact, I probably like every form of music except country. So why do I like? I don't know. It's probably I was tortured to listen to country for too long, or that horrible song that they played on The Walking Dead, the first part of this season, Easy Street or whatever it was called. That was terrible. That would have driven me nuts. I would have dug out.
Okay, and welcome Alexander. And Alexander has made an observation that Zoom is like blue jeans.
Yeah, it's like blue jeans. It's like there's another platform that's out there. They're video conferencing solutions, really. And what they did is they approached it from they were video conferencing first, and then they approached. Well, I don't think Zoom pushes out to Facebook, but Blue Jeans now has that ability. So
yeah, we know of two shows on Blue Jeans. There's the one on Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern and 7 p.m. GMT, which is LiveStreaming Insiders. And that's a very good show for half an hour. It's always 30 minutes. That's one to catch. And Ross is on Blue Jeans as well, isn't he? I think.
Oh, and Tim Gillette's joined us and watching from the Facebook.
The Facebook. So we can import Facebook comments. Welcome, Tim. And Zoom does not. Well, yeah, okay, it doesn't. If anybody would like to join us on air, just say yes in the comments here on Smiletime, and we'll bring you on air, and you can ask your questions live. If we don't have the answers, we'll have somebody who does. And just a point from Alexander about conferencing systems. He's moved from GoToMeeting to Blue Jeans. So Alexander is on Blue Jeans as well. So, and the next question over to you, David, is have you tested Go Live with? This is Brian Balch. Hello, Brian. Nice to see you.
Hey, Brian. Has Go Live with actually launched and I missed it because they were beta forever. In fact, I had a channel with Go Live with, and it looks like they say start broadcasting.
Okay.
So that's interesting. I was actually, looks like Go Live with has gone live. That's interesting. So Go Live with popped up in my radar last January. I was introduced to them and asked if I would test out the platform. And I said, sure, whenever you're ready, just let me know. I'll be glad to. And I kind of kept tabs up saying, hey, listen, just want to check in, see how everything's going. And kept getting the dev responses back. I understand about development, so I'm not going to push for it. So it's interesting that they've now gone live and I didn't see anything, or if I did, it's been so long that I didn't. So no, I haven't played with it, but now that you brought it to my attention, I will. Thanks, because now I'll never get anything done.
Right, and comment from Tim. I'll just have to take that off there first, and I can bring Tim's comment across, hopefully, who's now in the room. I don't do broadcasting those shows to Facebook. Tim, do you want to join us on air? In fact, that question is to everybody. If you want to join us there, just say yes, and we'll invite you on, and we'll change the stage, as it were, because we do have the ability to change the layout. It doesn't have to be just David and I on screen. We can have 4 people, 3 people comfortably. 4, well, we'll see what happens. But this is Smiletime, and we are broadcasting live to Facebook, and we could go to our page or go to a business page. In this case, if you're watching on Facebook, you're on my profile page. If you've got a question, then please type it into Facebook and we will bring it across here. If you want to join us live on air, then just say yes, please, in the comments, and the link is up above the show. Right. So go live with. We'll take a look at.
Yep.
All right. And
like I say, I had created a channel a long time ago, and I can tell you the last time I got any news from them was in June.
Wow.
And it wasn't anything other than me checking in. So that was it.
Yep.
But that's okay. You know, hey, they're busy. They're not paying me. I'm not paying them.
As far as
I'm not hurt.
True. No, not really. No, I appreciate that. If you help them with the beta, then they
my
should
system don't support me to talk. So
right. Okay. I'll explain that to you. This is my friend. We both believe, David and I, that this is about networking. It's about talking to people. It's not about trying to sell. I'll put the advert up later, David. And this is my friend Zahir, who's actually watching us live from Bangladesh. And so I say, welcome Zahir, and it's nice to see you here. And if you anything to say, then if you type in a comment, we'll see it. So we are international now. We're joining the USA and the UK and all across India and Bangladesh as well. And Tim is going to join us. So let me just change the layout and invite Tim to join us. Okay, now Tim is actually in our Smiletime channel. You see the link up above. You can try that and come in. And I've invited Tim, and I'm just waiting for Tim to arrive. I can see the ellipses at the moment, David. So Tim is on his way. I can see Tim. Hello, Tim.
Hey, I'm gonna make sure I don't have much of an echo because I've got construction workers here in my house. So
building out the Rockstar.
They're changing a door out.
Changing a door out. Okay.
My patio door has rot into it, and it had to be replaced. So
83, 63, and 82.
Got to get that changed. Hey, Tim.
How you doing, buddy? Steven, it's good to see you, buddy.
And you, sir. These are exciting times as far as video is concerned. What are your plans for this coming year?
You know, this year I'm getting into more of the webinars type base, where I actually have the training on my PowerPoints. I'm talking, but it's not my face you're seeing now. So, am I echoing, or is it just me echoing? No.
There is a slight reverberation, and we can hear your workman working away, which is what you should be doing.
I see the workman, but I'll mute so that you can jabber.
Oh, okay. I was like, no, but yeah, Steven, this year, because live streaming has worked great for me to help grab an audience, but doing it, just doing it for the general was not working for me. So I got people on I got people over to a private list. So subscribers, and I broadcast more to subscribers than I do to the general public. So this year I'm going more into helping those who want the help. And my general broadcasts are not really salesy. They're going out, sharing opinions, sharing things I know, and encouraging people to join my list is the biggest thing I do with them. So this year I'm planning on doing a lot more webinars, which in years past I have not done webinars. I've done most of my speaking live at events. And
which platform will you be using?
I do my classes right now on Zoom, but I think that the webinar is going to be on Webinar Jam is what I'm switching to now. I just got Webinar Jam last week.
And David,
and I use Zoom because I don't, and I really love the features on Zoom. And I was using it, and I actually have a paid version of it. I had the paid version of it long before like Blab ended. I was using Zoom, so.
And how are you? So have you used Webinar Jam yet? Have you gone live and played with it?
I've not gone live. I actually tried working to set one up yesterday. So, and I'm still learning all the stuff on that. And I think probably, I'm probably going to try to take a session with you, David, and you and I sit and talk. Maybe you can help me walk me through some stuff.
Yeah.
So.
That's hammering.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump out because of that
Okay.
and sit on the sideline, Stephen. I appreciate it. Why don't you kick
No
me?
problem.
Okay.
We'll talk again soon.
Thank you, Tim. I'll see you later. Okay, so let's rework this and change the layout back to what it was. I mean, that's what I love about this live broadcasting, is that people can come and join us on here and tell their stories. And Nazim, as we know, is in Italy and on a train at the moment, so he can't join us live. We look forward to when you can join us, Nazim, and we wish you a safe and pleasurable journey. At least you're traveling, which is good. Yeah, so that was a busy few moments. Right, okay. To anybody who's watching on Facebook, if you have a comment or a question, then please type it in and we'll do our best to answer it. If you want to join us live on air, as Tim did, all right, okay. And I'm going to send out but our best wishes to Corinda, who is currently in hospital. And Corinda, we wish you well. I look forward to seeing you in Facebook groups and roundabout and broadcasting, and best wishes to you at the moment. Right, okay, so it's, as I say, it is the thing is we're seeing a better stability, aren't we, now, from the platforms, and that's what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for nothing to happen. When nothing's happening, we know things are going right. Yeah, that was a question, by the way.
Yeah, it's stability is relative, I guess.
Okay.
There are good days and there are bad days. It's more stable than it was. It'll probably be more stable than it is on a more consistent basis later on. There's a lot of factors that feature into it. I will say that one thing that I've started pushing to a lot of people who I know have been having issues, help kind of, just see what's going on. Is there something maybe, is it on there? And is if you go to test.webrtc.org and go through that testing, that will actually give you a pretty good display of what your system can do, what your network can handle, what your ISP can handle. So if you're ever in one of those situations where you're encountering a lot of jitter or frozen video or garbled audio or anything, it's a really good thing to help. It's a free tool that's out there and can help you out with it.
Right. Okay. And point from Alexander. BeLive seems to be more stable to me. Yeah, I agree with that. The platforms are getting more stable. BeLive is a pleasurable experience for one or two people, and I enjoyed watching the show. Did you catch the show with Kim Gars last night?
No, I didn't.
Oh, right. Okay. That was high impact, high energy, as we would expect from Jeff, and he's doing a grand job promoting BeLive.tv. He has, in actual fact, he's got his act together. He's a professional when it comes to broadcasting. And of course, Kim was herself, and that's all she needs to be, because she has a very high profile, and the show went out, and it went out very well. And that was two people on BeLive with an interactive audience. But you can only have two people on BeLive at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And well, no, this is a, if you've got one or two people on BeLive, then yes, you can do more. But because you can post directly to Facebook from within BeLive, you can have your banner top right hand corner as it's broadcast out, so watermark, and I always do it with the LVS 17. If you are free, Alex, it would be, Alexander, it would be good if you could pop on for a moment and talk about it, so we can actually hear your thoughts on the two platforms, because they are I mean, BeLive and Smiletime are the two that are front runners at the moment, aren't they, David?
Well, I guess if you're talking about broadcasting to Facebook Live, yeah. I don't know of any other platforms really. I mean, I'm sure there's some mobile apps and everything that I've kept up with. I guess the thing is, there's a lot that's out there. Some things have just fallen off of my shelf. They're cute.
Well,
And Smiletime, honestly, was that way back in June when I tested it out the first time. Smiletime was cute, but it didn't function worth a flip, and it was more frown time. And they've made huge improvements. And one of the things that I really enjoy and I advocate about Smiletime is the Smiletime staff. They are very responsive, very intrigued, and hearing from everybody that they call creators when there are issues. They love to hear the good stuff, and they don't love to hear the bad stuff, but they do it openly, accept it. They want to look into things. They're very responsive in providing insight as to maybe what's going on or what you can do to change something, and that's a big deal. When it comes to this type of stuff, I know that one of the other areas is support, and honestly, it's really hard to provide top-level support for a free product. If you want the question, if you want to think about that, all you have to do is, have trouble with Gmail or anything that's a Google product, and then go reach out to Google. It's hard to, if you're on the free service, it's impossible.
Right.
So,
welcome, Alexander. We seem to have some background noise, but the thing is, Alexander, can you hear us?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
We can now. Yeah, we're good. Welcome. So, if you want to give us your observations on BeLive and Smiletime.
Well, I tested it out. I've been watching several, people use it over the last several months, and I've got some hunting buddies that I go deer hunting with, and we've started a hunting show, and we did a live stream onto one of the Facebook pages I manage for them, and it worked really well. I mean, it was stable for about, we did it for like 55 minutes.
Yeah.
Had people kind of come in and make comments, and I like to pull through the comments. For some reason, my connection here with Smiletime is, I don't know, it's just not reliable. It's not stable. A lot of times I can watch Smiletime live streaming sessions on Facebook perfectly fine with no hiccups, but for some reason on Smiletime, that exact same stream, it hoses up for some reason. So I'm not really sure why it does that.
have you ever used the WebRTC link that I provided?
Yeah, and it gives me a reflexive issue connectivity and the connectivity options.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm about to go back I'm about to switch ISPs probably because of that.
Who do you have now?
Well, it's Uverse.
So it's DSL.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, I've talked about the differences between cable and DSL forever, not just with video. And I will tell you that DSL has always had consistency issues with stability and stuff. And it's based off of the technology that they use. It's vastly different than what your cable providers use. So if you get your service from the phone company, your local phone company, then it's DSL. DSL is distance sensitive from where you are compared to their what's called a central office, a central switching office. And that's not talking about the main building that you would go pay your bills in. There's lots of central offices all over your area and stuff. And it's just got various different issues. One of the other areas that people need to begin to look into that really want to do more serious streaming, and an area that a lot of people do not talk about, and I'm actually going to work on a document of suggestions, is your network interior to your home.
Yeah,
I'm actually still using a router that you bought even 5 years ago. It was not designed for the web traffic that we have today. It was not designed for the speeds that are available. It was not designed for consistent gaming, all these things that require consistent, reliable, stable packets. Another area is the type of speed that you're getting from your ISP. A lot of times I will see some people go online on various different platforms. They can watch fine, but when they come on camera, all of a sudden things get jumpy, they get jittery, and they don't understand what's going on.
The upstream.
Yeah. And so you need to look at what your upstream and your downstream is, because it's a balance effect. It's packets of information talking to each other back and forth and all this type of stuff. So those are areas that, everybody's worried about lighting and what microphone and what webcam and all this type of stuff, but we don't hear a lot about these other areas. And the two areas that you can really focus on are the type of router that you have, and the who your internet provider is. And if you don't have a choice, I understand that. But what type of speeds are you getting from them? And those are two areas that, if this is something in passing that you're just doing for fun, then you're not looking into it. But if it's something that you're trying to do to build some kind of presence and help and figure out some way to monetize it, by building a customer base, then it is something that you need to look into, just like everything else. So.
Yeah, there's so many complexities to doing this live streaming. So many moving parts. To what David's saying, you have the connectivity at that individual, you have the connectivity at all the other participants, and the upstream. If you're live streaming, that's probably more important than your downstream if you're pushing out video.
Yeah. And you've got, even if you're a single house, if it's just you, and you're saying, well, it's just me and I'm on, I'm just on the computer. Okay, well, do you have a smartphone and do you have syncing services, and do you have a tablet of some kind? And is there syncing services? And, are you on a desktop, but you also have a laptop that's open and Google and Drive and Dropbox and all this type of stuff? And people don't take all that type of stuff into consideration.
Well, I've got 4 kids. All of them got PCs,
exactly,
and iPhones, and
so how many phones and tablets and PCs and video game consoles and Apple TVs and Rokus and all these different things that are sucking up.
I've got wireless repeaters. I've got all kinds of stuff here.
Right, and that's where a wireless router will come in, and that's what I'm gonna do. That's the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just make a really easy document. I'm gonna lay out 3 choices of wireless routers. I'm sorry, none of them are going to be $20. So if that's what you're looking for, a $20 router, then this document won't be for you. But it's going to be 3 different routers, 2 of which I've used, and 1 of which I haven't justified the cost of. But if you're really into it and you've got the money to justify it, then go for it. So. That's one area, and the improvement in the technology of the wireless routers is amazing. Not only that, but the simple fact of use. They do wear out. It's just anything that's got an electronic
Well, the new 802.11
will wear out.
AC stuff is much better. It's a lot faster. You can get some high throughput.
Yes.
Wirelessly now.
Yep. My ISP, so I have gigabit speed for my ISP. My internet speed's so fast I can't test it. I don't have I could test it if I was wired, but I'm never wired. And
Well,
wireless technology hasn't even caught up with that type of technology yet. So.
Google Fiber is real close to rolling out here, and because of that, that has accelerated Comcast and AT&T here locally to say that they also have Google Fiber, which they do in a very small downtown block in Nashville, Tennessee. So actually they can say they have it, but on the backside of our subdivision, Google's been laying conduit since last summer. And so they're getting close to launch here, and it's really kind of disrupted, connectivity options here.
Right. Right.
But we'll see. We don't have it yet, so it's been all talk up to this point.
Yeah, and Verizon's gone at the FiOS game, and they've backed out. I know the parent company of Suddenlink, who is my ISP, they are now pushing. They own us, and they bought Cablevision as well, saying that they're pushing fiber to the home for the majority of the Cablevision and most of the Suddenlink people. I think that there are some areas that it's so far gone they wouldn't be able to do it.
Are you saying Southern Link?
Sudden, SUDDEN link.
Because Southern Link's one of my large customers.
But that's a fight too, because it's expensive to lay all that fiber, and then trying to recoup the cost. What are they going to do?
Well, you have to be Google with $100 billion liquid cash.
Google scaled back their Google Fiber.
Yeah.
They scaled it back, and
I mean, they got money to burn, but they still don't want to just burn all of it.
Exactly.
If you think back sort of 6 or 7 years ago, none of this would have been possible. The speed increase that we've seen in the last 6 or 7 years is totally amazing and makes this viable. We wouldn't have been able to chat like this unless we were on Skype, and we wouldn't have been able to go live on Facebook. So it's the things are moving so fast these days. And I just want to give a shout out to Monique on Facebook and anybody else watching on Facebook. Alexander, how can we contact you if people want to get in touch?
Who, me? I'm sorry, me?
Yeah.
Well, you can just look at me online at alexandercurtis.com. On Twitter, it's at Alexander Curtis. Instagram, Twitter, it's just, you can just search Alexander Curtis.
Brilliant.
I've been in the technology world for 20 years. I've worked for AT&T, Verizon Wireless, AT&T, Motorola. The last 15 years, I've been more in the wireless world, selling mesh networking, mobile applications. Here now, I'm selling machine-to-machine connectivity. I work for a company called Digi International. I cover the Southeast, and I do strategic account management, just trying to grow the revenue here in the Southeast for them, but I also do mission critical machine consulting. It's kind of interesting in some of the third world countries that don't have the wired infrastructure in place, they're almost kind of just leapfrogging over, the 100 or so years that the U.S. has had to deploy all this copper infrastructure. They don't have to do that. They get to skip that.
Yeah.
They're just launching 4G networks, and they have, 30, 40 megabit download speeds wirelessly from a 4G connection. And they just leapfrog this 100 or so years that we had all this infrastructure to put in, that this sunk cost that we have. And a lot of my customers in the machine-to-machine space, they don't need a big, huge pipe. They're not doing live streaming. All they're doing is just pulling a very small data packet from a utility meter, for instance, or an ATM machine. But what 4G does give you is a whole lot less latency and jitter and all these other things. It's a lot more reliable connection. The core infrastructure is more frequency efficient compared to the old days. And so it's it's fascinating. It's accelerating like really fast.
And 5G is right around the corner.
And that's right.
You know, in another 4 years, it'll be 4G. What's that? Or LTE, and then you know, it was supposed to be LTE and then LTE Advanced, and LTE Advanced really isn't going to appear because they're just going up to 5G.
Well, I've got customers now that have some of our gear that would continue to work just fine, but the 2G, 3G signal, the RF signal from the tower is going away. So they've got to upgrade their equipment to newer 4G, you know, kind of somewhat future-proof them. Because some of my customers, they want to put stuff in place and they don't want to touch it for 10 years. You know, it's not like they're not upgrading every 18 months like we do on our cell phones.
Well, and data is the reason that all the wireless companies now are offering, you know, you can go to any company and get unlimited voice and unlimited texting. That's because they don't care about that anymore, because everything's making a switch over to data. Everybody's retiring the old band streams so that they can repurpose the megahertz. And I could start battling off just like Alexander could off of all the different acronyms and everything out there that's out, you know, that's not out there. But your wireless providers are definitely going to be contenders for an option of a reliable and viable home-based internet provider.
Well, we've already seen
right
it,
now,
right? Like I haven't had a home phone in 3 years here at the house.
Right.
You know, a physical POTS line. You know, I got a voice over IP line with Vonage that I've kept for so long. Probably need to transfer over. I just had it just to have. But yeah, it you know, wireless is definitely changing. You know, I'm getting ready to cut the cord. My DirecTV. That's why I'm looking at, you know, upgrading my internet connection for this live streaming, but also just potentially just cutting the cord altogether.
Do not get DirecTV now.
But now I kind of somewhat feel
Lots of
locked
bad
because
hiccups. You can go with the other one. What's the other one? Sling? No, not Sling. There's a service out there. It's $20 a month. They're pretty.
Oh, Sling TV. Yeah, Sling TV.
But the DirecTV now, it'll get there. But there's been a lot of issues that people have had the past few months, and they've been looking for refunds and haven't been getting them. So
my thing I wish they would do is have a la carte pricing. I only need 11 channels. There's only, even if I do watch TV, when I do watch TV, there's only probably about 9 to 11 of them that I even watch and care about. All other 498, I don't need. All I need is ESPN, maybe CNN, maybe Fox News, maybe the local channels, maybe AMC to watch Walking Dead, maybe the History Channel. You know, really, and once you get past 9 or 10, you're just kind of grasping. Yeah, I might watch that. So they just need to have it for $2 a month per channel, and you just want these 9. Okay, that's all you get.
Right.
But I don't know if that'll ever happen.
Different story in the UK. Most of our channels are air free, and we have a service called Freeview, which means we can get up to 48 different channels and hundreds of radio stations. Now, we've been running for nearly the hour, and that's generally the thing that we do. Alexander, it's been a pleasure to meet you. I've just found your channel, and I shall follow you later. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, guys.
See you, Alex.
See ya.
I'll see you later. Okay, so I'm going to bring David across here, and we say goodbye to Alexander. So thank you for watching us. Thank you for joining us. And
so Brian asked, I don't know if he's still here. He said, "What's your opinion of Belkin routers?" I have found.
Okay, yeah.
I would agree. Belkin routers are not great. They're I don't recommend them.
Right. Okay.
That's probably it.
And a question from Corinda, to which David gave the answer in that, how do you use Smiletime? Can you give me a demo? And David said that I've got a Skillshare course, which is quite true. I'll put a link to the Skillshare course, a free coupon to anybody who's watching us today, and you can take a look behind the scenes at Smiletime. I've updated it for all the latest changes. And the final advert of today, before we go, the final advert, if I can find it, is if you are interested in live video, particularly on Smiletime and Be Live, then join David and I, because we run LVS 17, search for it in Facebook, and we want to get you live in 2017. That's the whole purpose of the group. Oh, David, that's another hour gone. This time just flies by.
Time just flies by, doesn't it?
It does. It does. So, as I did the intro, we'd like to do the outro.
Did you already do the promo for LVS 17?
No, right. Whatever you wish to say. I've got somebody's knocking on my door at the moment, so I've got to go.
Well, thank you everyone for joining on Smiletime and on Facebook. Steve and I usually do this show on Mondays at 11 a.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. GMT. Today was a special day because I was not available yesterday. So we just moved it to today. But next week we should be back on schedule. We do have the Facebook group LVS 17 that you can join if you want. It's a community of 100+ members and growing, where you can discuss, ask questions, offer insight, comments, whatever, all about live video streaming, getting you to do live streaming. More, just go live. Just don't worry about all the fanfare and everything. No matter what you hear, whether you're hearing somebody talk about lighting and microphones and cameras and all this and networking and all that type of stuff, you've got the perfect camera, you've got your phone, you can get an app, you can go live. And that's simply what you need to do to start going live to serve the community that you serve better. But wait, there's more.
No, we'll be back next week with a brand new show, and we look forward to seeing you. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye.
Okay, I literally do have somebody knocking at the door. So, David, another great show. Enjoyed it.
Later, Steve.
I'll see you later. Okay. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.